Welcome back to another episode of Steaming Pie with Lauren and Tucker. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Tucker.
And it's Monday again. Prince Philip is still alive, but boy, does he not look it.
Nah,
every single day that he holds on.
Any day now. Any day now.
Yeah.
It's amazing the Queen's still alive, though, huh? That's impressive.
Yes, it is. Because, I can't imagine, for how unhealthy Americans are just in general, for some reason it would strike me that British monarchs would be in worse health.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly can't be in better health, right? That just doesn't compute. So yeah, no, I don't know. It's impressive. I mean, it's very possible that she has achieved immortality somehow. I'm not saying it's impossible. Is all I'm trying to say. She could have done it. If anyone did it, it might as well be her.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of skeletons in the royal family's closet that would involve the secret to immortality.
Yeah, no, for some reason, maybe they just have a lot of children blood just hanging around. That's how you make youth potion, right?
Yes, yeah, and Prince Andrew was on Epstein's Island, so he would know all about that.
There you go. I mean, who knows what they were doing to them on that island? They might as well have been bloodletting them. Adrenochrome.
Gotta get that adrenochrome somehow.
Yeah. Doesn't even sound like it would taste good. Let's be perfectly honest. Adrenochrome?
It doesn't. Yeah. I'm also convinced that there's some rich people food that they claim tastes good. So that the new rich are I don't get it. I don't understand. So that the established rich still feel better because they're in on it.
Yeah, probably.
But the new rich haven't figured that out yet.
The new rich. I achieved the status with this money, but they still won't let me in. Is this what it means to have a glass ceiling? It was a joke. I'm joking. But but no, I mean, youth serum, adrenochrome, whatever else, children's blood. I mean, I can only assume that it's just something that you have to do and you don't enjoy it. It's like getting a shot or drinking a 5-hour energy. It's just you have to it's gonna work, but it's gonna suck while you're doing it. It's just not. First you got to get the blood.
Right.
It's like getting maple syrup from a tree. It's effort. And then you got to
you got to wait for your Wayfair order to come in for a couch you didn't even want.
Yeah, right?
But the kid whose blood you need is somewhere in that.
What do you do with the couch afterwards? It's from Wayfair. It's not a good couch. So, I mean...
Speaking of, I do have one.
Oh, you have... How is it? And how's the kid?
Arrived child-free, actually. I
Whoa.
did not pay extra for that.
Damn.
Yeah. For a $300 couch, it's not bad.
There you go.
It was a bitch to put together, but I also didn't bother to look at instructions. So in true, stereotypical father behavior, I just took it apart again, swore at it, paced up and down, and then put it together.
Yeah, it sounds almost worth it. If only there had been a child in there.
I know, yeah, and I could you don't need a health savings account if you have a child who's adrenochrome you can use.
Exactly, right? You put the couch together, then you take the kid apart. That's usually how those work.
Just like Unwind.
Yeah. Just this is going to be a fun one. We're only 5 minutes in.
I know.
I don't know much about Wayfair other than the kid thing. They actually have good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who has either thrifted furniture or gotten it from Walmart, it was all right. It comes, if you're wanting a couch that is a lot sturdier, you want the structural support all the way down, it's not the best for that. Because the way they deliver it is they deliver the seat cushions and then the back cushions are packed in underneath it. So it makes it easier to store and ship and stuff. So it's kind of a hollow couch in a lot of respects. But if you just need a quick and easy couch, it's not that bad.
Okay. No, I guess not.
A good first couch and a good apartment couch.
How does it compare to the furniture you might find at an IKEA?
I've never been to an IKEA, so I don't know. As far
Whoa.
as
Nope, nope.
there were no there were
You're
no IKEAs around where I lived.
okay. Well, you're in Atlanta now. Chip, chop, chip.
But I have the Wayfair couch.
You don't go to
You
IKEA
go
for
to IKEA.
furniture. You go for the meatballs. Are you?
Oh, of course, yeah.
They have full.
For the
It's
culture.
amazing. It's amazing. It's not even a joke. It's delicious.
Yeah, which is kind of amazing.
I can't believe you've never been to IKEA.
I just love furniture stores in general.
Mm,
Like decor is fantastic.
it's true.
But the fact that it sells meatballs on top of it, like that is a risk they were willing to take and it paid off.
Oh yeah, and it's not just meatballs, right? It's a full cafeteria. Some
Okay,
places,
yeah.
Some places
Do
have.
some people just go to eat at IKEA then?
Yeah, you're certainly allowed to. That's a thing you can do. They have some places. The one in Indy has this, but the one in St. Louis does not, and I don't think the one in Schaumburg does either. They have like Swedish lingonberry drink, right? And some of them have carbonated lingonberry slushie. I
Ooh.
cannot describe to you how just absolutely amazing it is. First off, you know the problems with slushies. We're going here. The problem with slushies is that you suck out all the good juice, and then there's just clumps of ice and crap at the bottom that you cannot get out.
Right.
Somehow, IKEA, and I guess 7-Eleven, they figured it out. Right? Like, you don't get a Slurpee or a lingonberry, a frozen lingonberry Icee, to where it clumps up. It just doesn't. It doesn't clump, it just melts, which is also fine. It dilutes a little bit, but you can't get around that. It's ice.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we still serving Icees? This is a solved problem. Icee needs to get their ice smaller.
I think that is part of it is you want like a smoothie consistency. It's just a little bit colder.
Yeah.
Because it's why milkshakes don't dissolve into like syrup and ice.
Yeah. We have the technology.
I know.
Where's the Icee? That little cool polar bear can't hold my attention for that long. I'm going down the street to 7-Eleven.
Yeah. Is Icee connected to anything? Like, does a certain convenience store have it?
No. I think they're just a brand. I think they just make the machines and the flavoring.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's just a guess, though. But here's a question. So Icees are made with that corkscrew, right, in the plastic bin. When you go to a place that has fresh lemonade, they also use the corkscrew. Why do they use the corkscrew if it's just lemonade? Why does it like squirt the lemonade all over inside the container is the word I'm looking for. Why is that? Does it like keep it fresh? Does it aerate the lemonade? Is that a concern?
I was about to say it aerates it. It also might be just so it doesn't like separate, if separation is a concern people have with lemonade.
Well, assuming it's
like,
truly fresh, right? Even if it's from
yeah.
concentrate, it's lemon juice,
Yes.
which is lemon parts and water, but it's such a even suspension. I can't imagine that would ever separate in a reasonable amount of time.
Then it may be just so it doesn't stick to the sides and mold. Because I used to work at a Subway, and for the iced tea, especially the sweet tea, you make that at the start of the shift and then as needed from there on out. The way the sugar and like foam just sticks to the edges, it's awful. And like we would clean it. I'm not trying to besmirch Subway, but like that is something that you could probably avoid if you're constantly moving whatever's inside of it.
Okay, maybe there's something to it. You know, maybe you can. Okay, all right. You get a pass, lemonade corkscrew. You have purpose. Icees, we need a version 2. Bet you it's been around forever as well, right? Icees.
Probably.
The branding has been along
like
for
at
a
least
while.
it screams like mid 70s to me.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know how old they are.
We just need a new version. Let's get someone working on that. I don't know. But I mean I guess they're good. Good enough.
60
Uh
Icee is was invented in 1958.
sure, okay. That makes sense.
The Icee was invented in 1958 by Omar Knedlik, a Dairy Queen owner in Coffeyville, Kansas. The beverage was the result of a faulty equipment in the Dairy Queen owned by Knedlik. His soda machine broke, and he began placing bottles of soda in the freezer to keep them cold.
Oh. Yeah.
That's from the wiki. I know that like the first answers on Google are not always correct, so take that with a grain of salt.
It sounds believable. I don't know, 'cause, yeah, I guess that's true. You can make your own Icee. You know, your mileage may vary with this, but you can make your own Icee. You take a bottle of Coke. I guess it'll work with anything, but I think Coke, it's the standard. Take a bottle of Coke. You really screw the cap on tight. And then you shake it to death, and then you put it in the freezer, so that when you open it, it instantly freezes and it comes out as a slushie. Now, I've only gotten this to work halfway. It's real hit or miss because you gotta like have a real good seal on it, right? Because you need the pressure inside the bottle to be super high so it doesn't freeze. But I mean, this is okay. I mean, I don't know how to make. I've tried making shaved ice at home, and that, or I'm not shaved ice, Italian ice. It ended up like shaved ice, but
Yeah.
it's tasty. It's literally just lemon and sugar. It's frozen lemonade. How could you mess that up? The consistency is how it just is ice, but it's still tasty.
Now here's what's interesting. After 5 years, Nedlick's idea had become the iconic Icee machine after drawing the attention of 7-Eleven. The convenience store chain purchased several machines and later changed the name to Slurpee.
So then, what is the Icee today?
So Slurpee is Icee too.
So in a way,
like,
yeah, okay.
J&J Snack Foods purchased the Icee company in 1987. In December 2019, the company moved their headquarters from Ontario, California to Laverne, Tennessee.
Yeah, okay. So in a way, we're comparing what Icees could be to what they are.
Yes.
That's a shame. That's a shame. That makes me want to go get a Slurpee. I don't know. They're so good. They're so good. If they're flavored right. I tried to get a cherry one once, and it tasted like cinnamon. And it's like, what is this? What are you doing? Why? How does that even happen from cherry? But
I don't know. I don't even think I've really encountered anything that was like cherry and cinnamon.
Yeah.
Because like apple and cinnamon, pear and cinnamon, and even peach and cinnamon.
Excuse me.
Don't die.
I'm trying not to. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
They change flavors so often. Cherry's really the only steadfast one I know, and I haven't been to 7-Eleven in at least not for a Slurpee. I guess I went a couple weeks ago on the way back from somewhere. Because it was on the way back from somewhere. I should have gotten a Slurpee. Why didn't I get a Slurpee? Whenever you go into a 7-Eleven, Slurpee, Slurpee, Slurpee.
I mean, yeah, that is kind of like the impulse. Like anytime I go into a gas station worth going to, like it's got the full convenience store attached to it. And found drinks are right there. Why wouldn't you? And I think in general, like I'm not opposed to a lot of gas station food. Like sometimes the hot dogs actually turn out pretty okay. One of the ones that I go to actually has egg rolls, and for gas station egg rolls, it's impressive. Convenience store pizza is also a big thing. I don't know if you have Casey's up as far north as you are. But on like the southeastern end of Illinois, Casey's General Store was like the place to get pizza.
Interesting.
This is really good.
I've never had a gas station pizza, but I do know what you're talking about with the egg rolls and the taquitos and the hot dogs. The Circle K by Rose. I used to get quite a few of them. They were good. Yeah. I mean, every bite I knew I was slowly killing myself, but they were tasty. So live fast, die young, leave a good-looking corpse, or at least 2 of the 3. So, I don't know. sometimes you just get that craving for just trash stuff. Tastes
Yes.
good. It's bad for you. And you feel bad doing it. And yet,
Yeah. No, I'm trying to slowly wean myself off of Diet Mountain Dew because I drink enough to kill a small child. And I found out that it can erode like your urinary wall. And I'm like, don't want that. Don't want that at all. So I'm slowly trying to cut back on that. And I think I'm reaching the age where it's like, all right, I know I'm on the younger side still, relatively speaking. But like this is the time to start doing all of the preventative stuff and to make the changes that I won't have to make in 30 years.
hmm that's true. That's true. Um, but it's so tasty.
I know.
All the bad stuff is so tasty. Why is all the bad stuff so tasty?
Corn syrup, probably.
Corn syrup, trans fat,
Preservatives.
deep fried. Yeah. Maybe that's what we should put scientists on. Screw the Icee. We need a healthy thing that emulates these things. Like, I like kale chips. I don't like kale, but I do like kale chips. AKA, you deep fry the hell out of
Well,
kale.
yeah.
So in a way, is it still kale? Are you still getting the superfood benefits of kale, whatever they may be? I say nay, nay. Of course you are not. But you feel less guilty, and of course,
Exactly.
there's a whole bunch of food guilt that comes with all this stuff that you eat.
Yes.
Can't escape that,
No.
even if you feel it for like 0.001 seconds while you're eating it. These potato skins are so bad for me. Oh no.
I know.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And like I did the working out thing for a long time and then I just slid off the wagon. Like it was a very gradual stop. And I've made the whole video about it, so it's like I have to get back on it because people think this is how I live my life.
Exactly.
35 people to be exact.
Well, I mean, there you go. You got it. That's a large commitment you have now.
I
There you
know.
go.
Yeah. And part of it is if I have extra things I need to do, I want to get them done in the morning before I'm awake and need all of my brain function. But it's been like pitch black in the morning because daylight saving ended. I do not feel like my light has been saved at all. And it's so hard. And I realize that that's part of being an adult is like, this is hard. I don't like it, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I feel that. For a while last year I was running, and then it got cold, and then I stopped because there's no way you're going to make me run in the cold. I don't care what the health benefits are. None of that. So I should start doing that again, right? That's the good thing to do. And I did it once, and it was okay. But I don't know. It's something I should just, do. So
Yeah. And there is supposedly like just other health things, environment things. Like I bought oat milk for the first time.
ooh.
Because I was like, sure, cut back on general dairy consumption for the environment, for myself, whatever. And oat milk is actually pretty good. It isn't as heavy as dairy milk. In that respect, it's very similar to skim milk, but it doesn't have that like watery feeling to it.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think skim milk is basically just water.
Yes.
I think 1% is water.
I know, yeah.
It's like,
I've grown up my whole life drinking 2% milk.
Yeah, where's the line between 1 and 2%? How is it that subtle? But yeah, that's interesting. How do they do that? Lighter, but also not watery. I have to try it now. Oh
Yeah,
no.
I got Silk brand, so I can at least vouch for that one.
Okay.
And it's the toss up of like it's a lot more expensive than dairy milk.
Sure.
Probably twice as expensive.
Well, imagine
just
trying
based
to
on like
milk all those oats. That's so
I know,
time
yeah.
consuming.
impossible.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like I also bought dark chocolate flavored almond milk
Oh.
just to see how that goes.
Have you tried it
Because
yet?
allegedly, and I had to like really weigh it out because almonds are supposedly also bad for the environment just with how much water they require.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? Sure. We'll not do the cows this time. We'll do almonds. We'll eventually cancel things out.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, and this is where the food guilt comes back in. That whole chocolate milk looks so good.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Full fat
Sometimes when I really want it, I'll like go beyond just whatever regional dairy there is, and I'll get like the luxury brand chocolate milk that's like $4 for a quart.
They know what they're doing.
Oh yeah. Where it just pours out like melted ice cream.
Oh,
perfect.
That's good. That's the stuff. Oh.
It's stuff like that where I understand decadence, like truly understand it.
Yeah, right? It's so good.
Yeah.
Now I want a Slurpee and chocolate milk. This is unhealthy. How do you feel about vegetables, Lauren? Vegetables, huh?
Carrots. Carrots are great.
I
actually do really enjoy roasting those. I once made eggplant parmesan, and I surprised myself that I even cared enough about the eggplant to do it. Like, it actually turned out okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Cauliflower is also a vegetable that all growing up, I'm like, this is stupid. And then I got older and started making it myself, and I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah. I don't know. There are a lot of vegetables that I just prefer raw. It's very odd. Like, you roast cauliflower, you roast Brussels sprouts, you do whatever you do to corn. When you steam it, you steam corn.
Yeah.
But just like chunk, start eating off the brain of the cauliflower. Just
I've not ever done that. I have eaten corn raw because my dad used to grow corn out in our backyard.
Ooh.
And so we would get to have that like from the backyard on the plate, which was super cool. And corn on the cob, like that's one of my like childhood pinnacles of existence.
Yeah.
Because it's so perfect, and it so perfectly captures like that late summer, early fall atmosphere where the sky is still really blue, but you can actually eat outside because the air isn't sitting on your chest anymore.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Corn is good. There's so much corn, though. There's just so much corn.
I know, yeah. Once we started substituting sugar for corn syrup, like, then corn was everywhere.
Corn, sugar, gas, livestock feed. It's just everywhere. So much corn. So much corn.
Mm-hmm. I grew up in it.
In corn?
Everything around me was corn.
Oh, there are worse things to be surrounded by.
Yes.
Lava.
Yeah.
Big spikes.
Yes.
Minorities. I'm joking. It's a joke.
I've thought about, like, as I've thought about scripts to write and stuff, just having a sign for whenever I say things that says, don't take this out of context. So if they ever use the clip, it automatically clues them in that, like, oh, there was a bigger part of this conversation.
Nah, just let the memes be memes. Just
yeah.
If someone tries to cancel you, just be like, context. Come on.
Yeah, that's what they all say. It's like, context.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's some things that you can't get away with, even with context,
Oh, yeah.
It it depends. No, it doesn't. I'm thinking, so there are things that you can get away with in only minimal context. So, okay, so let's say this. Okay. For example, the Jews are bad. Now, I can get away with saying that because I'm giving an example of something that I can get away with saying as an example.
Yes.
I don't think Jews are bad. How else would our economy run? It's a joke. I'm joking, but But there are things where the context gets narrower and narrower, or the acceptable context gets narrower and narrower. There's there's a fine line between comedy and authorship of Mein Kampf. You just gotta find the line.
Yeah, no, and I think there's also another thin line between saying things in a conversation between two people who understand that neither really thinks those things.
Mm-hmm.
They're just talking through certain philosophies to their extent.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a mistake a lot of online people or public figures make. They think their whole audience will respond the way a close friend will.
Yeah.
And no, they won't.
That's true. That is very accurate. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Because, comedy in general is going in a very weird direction. It's like, it's almost, I don't know, it's like an analogy, analogous to, I guess, politics, right? You have, people radicalizing in two different ways without much room in the middle anymore. I wonder if that's like just a pattern across all time, and like what happened. What does it take to reset something like that? Because I'm sure it's been reset before across civilizations.
Honestly, it probably requires giant cataclysms.
What was the previous cataclysm?
And that was what I was trying to think of, because like when I think of the 70s and like the 70s specifically, or like the 2000s, we'll say,
Mm-hmm.
Which all of this is hypothetical. There's nothing to back any of this up. Like the 70s, Vietnam War comes to an end. All the Watergate stuff is over. And so people are like, well, what do we do now? We don't have a public figure to despise. We had Gerald Ford and then Jimmy Carter, and who feels strongly about either of those guys? Not really a lot of... I think the back half of the 70s, there's like a weird recession.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like the big cultural targets were removed. And in the 2000s, there was the Iraq War, but it was like weird because people were kind of behind it.
Yeah.
To a weird degree. Yeah.
Excuse me. It was nice knowing you.
And like 9/11 happened, so it was like that was the thing that banded everyone together. So there wasn't like a huge polarizing thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then the more we add polarizing things that demand people take an either 100% for or 100% against stance, that's where a lot of that comes down to. Because like we saw that during the Trump presidency, and now he's gone, and that division is still very much there.
Mm.
But it's not in our face 100% of the time.
That's fair. Those are all valid points. I was going to put the big cataclysm, or the most recent cataclysm, at the Civil War, but you make good points about purging, like, despisable public figures. Yeah. I don't know, I guess, several small cataclysms can even be called a cataclysm at that point. Yeah.
The kittenclism.
The kittenclism. Yeah, 9/11 was a kittenclism. I'm joking, it's a joke. All right, but so what would it take to have a reset? A pandemic wouldn't do it. Pandemic made it worse. So
yeah. Which is the dumbest. Like, if I am a political figure and I see a health crisis, pandemic, that is one thing that should never have had a bipartisan bend over. Like, that is... I don't think Trump realized that if he didn't cater to literally the 25% of his base that cared about him so deeply and would have cared about him regardless, and was like, hey, America's gonna lead the charge to getting rid of this thing. And like dumped a ton of money into research and was like, we're gonna flatten the curve first. Like all of the on the fence people would have been like, I'm willing to overlook everything that he's done the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd have wanted a landslide, but he didn't do that.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, no one knows what he thinks most of the time, or if he thinks. So it's really just a question of what was he told, like what were his strategists thinking.
That's true, yeah, because I've seen that some people are like, it's actually people like Stephen Miller or Steve Bannon before him that were actually doing anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the numbers are going down now. I think in Illinois, middle of April, most people will be ready to sign up for vaccination. Whether they get it in any meaningful amount of time is a completely different matter, but you're on the list, so that's not nothing.
Yeah.
And that's exciting. I'm hoping it'll be, a relatively normal summer, without the repercussions of last summer. Because last summer was kind of normal, but it had its issues. I don't know. At least around here, it was kind of normal. I don't know. I don't know what else I would have been doing other than what I did.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, go to places more often. I think because the hassle of like, well, do I want to wander around with a mask for 2 hours? The movies. I would have gone to the movies.
Sure.
So often. I would have gone to the beach, and those were two things that I couldn't do. I had concerts I was supposed to go to last summer.
Oh.
And they all got canceled or postponed. They have to get postponed again. I guess they're canceled, but
yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I really should go to the movies more. I don't know why I never did. I went to see Tenet, and then before that, Cats. Maybe my track record in the movies, the theater, not great.
That settles out to like a 50%. That's okay.
Yeah, that's calling Tenet at 100%, which, as I am a Christopher Nolan simp, I tend to agree. But I mean, even I can admit, is kind of poorly mixed, and I don't know. I still love the movie.
I mean, and we've talked about this before. A lot of his movies are weirdly mixed, with the dialogue being very quiet, and all of the bois being very loud.
Yeah, but I don't think anything was as inaudible as Tenet. Like I could hear Inception. I can hear Interstellar. Tenet, I don't know. I don't know. They must have been drunk.
It's entirely possible. I don't know. Have I think I have only seen 2 Christopher Nolan movies.
The Batman ones?
No.
Whoa.
I've seen The Prestige and Inception, and I think that's it.
Oh, well, you need to get on that, Lauren. What are you doing?
I know, yeah.
They're all very good.
Oh, that's what I hear, yeah.
The Dark Knights are very, very good. Some of the best superhero film, I think. And then Interstellar, I think, is my favorite Nolan film. It's very, very... I don't know. I don't even know. I can't find adjectives. That's how you know it's good.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
I'm going to cough again. This is it, Lauren. It's nice knowing you.
I know. Yeah. Speaking of that vaccine.
Yeah. Let's chip any day now, huh? It's real nice out today. Was it nice out?
Yes. Yeah. I was able to open the windows about halfway through the day. I went outside in a jacket, but I wouldn't have needed it because it was pretty nice regardless.
Yeah. I don't know. Every time I think it's going to be like, oh, this is the last cold weekend. It's not. It's not. And it's fine. Yeah. It's not like it's going down to 30s or 20s anymore, but it's like, okay, can we like just hang out in the 60s just for enough time that people get used to it? so the park isn't always crowded.
Ah, yeah. No, it's in the 60s in the morning for us because it'll be like 65 overnight.
That's and you had to wait until midday to open your windows?
I'm just freezing in the mornings.
Very, very, very south, very close to the equator of you.
Right, which is weird given I haven't grown up in the South. I grew up in the Midwest where you would be, 40 in the morning and 90 by midday.
Oh
And you
God.
just had to dress for that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very, very interesting climate in the Midwest. I imagine because there isn't a lot of water around, like big bodies of water to even out the temperature.
Oh, that could be.
But I mean, I'm a couple PhDs away explaining that one. So I don't know.
We also grew up in the shadow of an oil refinery, so we kind of existed in almost like a weather microcosm because we
No.
think enough heat was coming off of that it would like change weather patterns.
That could be true. Yeah.
So like during the winter, every county around us would get snow, and then we wouldn't get any.
So sad. Snow is great.
I know. It is. It is.
Yeah.
And when I went to go see my parents at Christmas, it snowed like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, which was great. It was
Ooh.
perfect. I got to go sledding for the first time in like a decade.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Sledding is awesome.
It is. It is. What's your ideal like sled shape?
Uh, I really only ever used the rectangular one, which is the
Okay.
just plastic thin thing that kind of comes up at the edges.
Yeah.
Has the sandals. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I've used. I've never used like a toboggan or a flat thing.
Okay. Yeah. My dad has like straight out of a Norman Rockwell painting kind of sled that's got like the treads and the little bar at the front that you can use to steer it, or make you think that you're steering it. He had like more of the tray shape, but then he also had like a round disc one, and then he had an inner tube.
Ooh,
Inner tubes are actually pretty good as sleds,
that'd be kind of steep though, right? The hill.
potentially.
Yeah.
As long as you have like a decent groove in it going, it does all right.
That does sound like fun. Yeah. Oh, I've because I've only ever done inner tubes and like water slides, and that's like, there's a lot of friction. But on snow, there you go.
Yeah.
One thing that looks fun, but I know that I would never do because I'll just straight up die, is the luge.
Oh yeah.
Or yeah, or the other one where you're facing the other direction.
Is it bobsled?
No, bobsledding looks really cool too. I'd love the bobsled, but that's like that seems hard and very niche. How do you start out on that?
I don't know.
Yeah, like where's the local bobsled chapter? Like you can ice skate, you can speed skate, figure skate, join a hockey team. I don't know how you get into these more niche curling. Where do you curl? You know,
I think that is where region matters a lot.
that could be true.
Or you live in Arizona for some reason?
What? Riddle me that one, Batman.
Yeah, I think Arizona has like a decent hockey presence, and I don't know why.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, hockey. Hockey makes sense. Curling, I'm not feeling. I don't know. But hockey, I could see being. I don't know. There's like hockey in like weird places. I know Florida
Yeah.
has like a big hockey thing, like a minor league hockey.
Okay.
And the games are pretty good. But I mean, but like to curl, to
Now for
luge.
things like that,
Yeah?
for hockey courts or arenas or whatever they play on,
Rinks. You try though.
rinks.
Yeah.
The I imagine how much ice do they have to layer on?
It's kind of deep. I don't know what the. It's deep though. It's really deep because they have to put the colors underneath the top layer of ice.
Oh, they put the colors underneath.
Yes,
Okay.
depth of ice.
Because I'm like, it can't be built over lakes because that's just not how construction has ever worked. But like, how do you build that? How do you get the water in there?
Uh, about 1 inch thick when everything is finished. In addition, the additional size of a National Hockey League rink is 200 feet long and 85 feet wide. To make this an ice sheet with this large surface area requires about 10,600 gallons of water. Takes about 2 days to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. And how about Zambonis, huh? Aren't they just the coolest machines?
Yes.
I love Zambonis. Like, oh,
That's
bippity
also
boppity.
really interesting, especially if they like cover the floor for other events. Because I know that some hockey rinks they end up using for other things.
Yeah, they cover up the ice. Probably cheaper to do that. Yeah. So, but yeah, I assume with the amount of industrial cooling they have for the ice, it's not super challenging to like undo an ice rink. I think it just is troublesome because you have to like redraw all the lines and things like that. But I don't know how that
Oh,
works. I
yeah.
assume it's chalk. But like the complicated imagery, things like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's cool. I don't, and it also has like this smell, like the smell of ice rinks. It's just not a bad smell. It's just a unique smell. It's like so. It's like you know exactly what you're smelling when you smell it. I am near an ice rink. I know it.
Does it smell like cold water?
It smells like cold water. Yes, and
Okay.
maybe just a of like sweat, but like
Sure.
just in general. Like, but you just know that you are at an ice rink, and I don't know. It's because you can smell it at every ice rink you go to. But you don't smell it on like frozen lakes.
Right. Yeah. It could be because it's enclosed. Because like I can go to a pool, like a public pool, and if it's outdoor, I'm not gonna smell the chlorine as much as if I'm in like a college pool.
That's true. Yeah.
Because the feeling of like leaving a locker room to go to like a pool party, because our community college had one that you could rent out for that sort of thing. And that scent, if I were to smell it again, would take me like right back to third grade.
Mm. Yeah. That's that's a unique smell as well, and it's also like the feeling because it's always kind of humid in
Yeah.
indoor pools, especially if they have a lot of
Yeah.
windows. Yeah, echoes. Oh, the echoes.
Oh, so much. I
Yeah.
remember when like my siblings would have like swimming lessons, and so I would go and like sit in the bleachers up above,
Hmm.
and it's so loud
Oh
and
yeah.
it's so humid.
Hmm. But it's like, A, it's unique to the experience, and B, it's not like unenjoyable for some
Oh
reason.
no.
It's I don't know. It's one of those things where you add everything up, and it should suck, but it doesn't. I can't explain it.
Yeah,
I
I
also
think there are a
yeah.
lot of things that are that way.
That yeah.
Because like theme parks, when you think about it, theme parks should suck
Hmm.
because you're outside in the heat. You're really only on rides for like 5% of your day. And all of the like food's overpriced. But for some reason, the way the food tastes, the way the rides feel, and just the experience of like going to bed that night, it's amazing.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. But I mean roller coasters.
Oh, yeah.
Adrenaline,
Those are the
right?
best.
Oh, especially the ones that feel like they're going to fall apart at any second. Oh, the wooden roller
Oh,
coasters.
yes. Have you ever been to Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana?
I have not.
That had some great wooden roller coasters.
There you go. All
Yeah.
rickety and like tossing you about and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Holiday World, as the name would imply, was holiday themed. So it had like a Halloween section, Thanksgiving rides, 4th of July rides. I
What's this?
think Easter was more of the kids section. And there's like Christmas themed stuff all over.
What's the Thanksgiving ride?
The one that I actually got to go on was called the Voyage, and it was a roller coaster that I think would take you up. And it was basically just three big hills.
Oh,
And you just immediately went up one that was huge, really tall. Don't know how tall exactly. But then the momentum from that one hill would be really instrumental in getting you through the rest of it. I think
nice.
there was also something called the Pilgrim's Plunge, which was kind of like one of those drop rides, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. Those terrify me. Oh, I can't do those drop rides because
Oh, I love them.
it's like it's because it pushes you down. It's not just gravity; it pushes you down. So it's like, I don't like that. I don't care for that.
So I'm searching Pilgrim's Plunge and like first result, Pilgrim's Plunge, normal. And then Death and Death Holiday World and Accident. And I'm like, oh, it's been a while since I've been there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like kid, they're roller coasters. Kids going to get decapitated every once in a while.
Oh, Pilgrim's Plunge deviated from the standard of using a slope to lift hill, instead opting for an open air elevator system that takes riders to a height of 135 feet before dropping them at a 45-degree angle.
Oh, interesting. That's okay. That sounds doable. That sounds like fun.
Oh, it was permanently removed in 2014.
Well, never mind then. All right.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been, and from everything I'd ever heard about it, like it was not as bad as like Action Park, because they were typically really good about investing when they had the money to do it. Oh, because it was closed for maintenance more often than it was open.
Oh.
Yeah, so not because someone died.
Well, I mean, again, that's just going to happen. That's just going to happen. Big
Yeah.
metal moving objects. That's just a cause of doing business.
Yeah. There's a whole instance section for this.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So on May 31st, 2003, a 32-year-old female from New York City died after falling out of the Raven roller coaster.
Okay.
And the Raven, that was one of those wooden roller coasters. It was in the Halloween section. Following a safety check of her lap bar and seatbelt by a ride operator, the train left. Multiple witnesses reported that they saw her virtually standing up during the ride's initial and subsequent drops. During the ride's 69 feet drop, also called the fifth drop, she was ejected and onto the tracks.
Well, that ruins your day, huh?
I know.
Imagine being an eyewitness to that.
Yeah. Someone died in the wave pool, which is kind of understandable. That was an intense wave pool.
Wow. That intense.
She collapsed near the edge of the wave pool, facing down in 2 inches of water. In 2016, there was a bomb scare. It's been a hot park since I've been gone.
Well, if you collapse near the edge of the pool and you drown in 2 inches of water, I don't think that's the wave pool's fault. That's just any pool. It's not like
Right.
the wave motor crushed someone. No, it's water.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Raven, the Legend, and the Voyage are all wooden roller coasters. Then they also added the Thunderbird and the Howler. It has some really nice water coasters. Yeah, it's really solid because like drinks and sunscreen are free, parking's free.
Whoa.
And when you pay for your ticket, you can go everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was, and for being like in the middle of nowhere, Indiana, it was a pretty sweet gig, especially if like you couldn't get all the way to like Six Flags or whatever other theme parks might be around. Is it just Six Flags?
Great Adventure, but I think that's the same company.
Oh, okay.
Wait, drinks are free at an amusement park?
Yeah. Like they come in just those little paper cups and stuff.
Yeah, but like I could get like a paper cup of like, I don't know, Coke?
Yeah.
You're lying.
No. And I mean, that may have changed since I've been there since like, 2011, but
That can't be true anymore. That's gotta be. They have to have changed that. Come on now.
holiday
It's 2021. Can't be generous with your drinks anymore.
Still free. 5 freebies included with the Holiday World admission.
There you go. You can't just keep slurping.
Well, I mean, when you buy a ticket to go. Free parking, free Wi-Fi, free soft drinks.
Only 5.
And there are multiple stations throughout the park, so it's not like if you want to drink, you have to go all the way back to the entrance.
Well, that's good, yes.
Free sunscreen, and the free water park. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Back when I had season tickets for Six Flags, I only had season tickets one summer. I think it came with unlimited beverages. 100% worth it. 100% worth it.
Yeah.
You get the unlimited drinks because you get thirsty. It's hot out there, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're already making a killing from everyone else buying the fountain drinks because I mean, the margins on those are just mammoth, absolutely amazing. Kind of makes you want to just open a store that only sells fountain drinks. That's it. That's your only product. Just every fountain drink. You come in like a gas station, but without all the other stuff. You just come in.
It's just, yeah.
Shh, massive profit. Massive profit.
Basically a lemonade stand.
Yes. Just with, more corn syrup.
Yes.
I wish soda wasn't so good. Oh, it's so good.
No.
You can try to make it yourself.
And I don't know what it is.
It just doesn't work.
I think it has to be a combination of so many of the bad things about it.
Yeah.
Because, like, it isn't the carbonation. Because while sparkling water is nice, it's not the same.
Exactly.
And it's not just the corn syrup because, like, juice is also okay. But it's like, it's got to be that together.
Have you ever had uncarbonated Coke? Just completely flat?
Occasionally. Never, like, a whole can of it.
It's disgusting. So they rely on each other.
Okay, see, now I'm a freak because, like, if flat Coke is, like, really cold, not bad. Not what I would get,
Interesting.
but not bad.
All right. So, everyone's allowed to, have their weird thing. I guess yours is flat Coke, really cold flat Coke. All right. Look at you differently now.
Yeah.
But you will concede that it does taste exceptionally different without the carbonation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's weird. And do you like just drinking club soda? Just club soda?
No.
Okay. They require each other.
Yeah. And I think part of it is the syrup, too. Because, again, like, LaCroix or bubbly or whatever. Now, bubbly, I think, is better than LaCroix, but, like, the flavor isn't enough.
It's true. Not that there's a lot of flavor in bubbly or LaCroix, but,
No.
take what you can get. I don't know. For some reason, LaCroix out here is cheaper. It used to be the other way around, but now it's not. Price of bubbly's gone up. Price of LaCroix stayed the same.
Interesting.
That being said, I do get bubbly, and I do turn into a degenerate millennial because I get it from Amazon Fresh because it's very inconvenient for me to cart back boxes of bubbly.
Wow. Like, that is true.
Because, I don't have a car, so what am I going to do? Carry it 2 boxes at a time? No, I will drum up a $35 order on Amazon Fresh, swallow the guilt, and I'll have someone else do it for me, So, I mean, I still grocery shop for other things, but when it comes to, like, big things that are cumbersome to carry, I'm not going, that's, no.
Yeah. No, because, like, I do have a car. But I also took a page from my fiance's grandparents, and they have, like, just a cheap laundry basket, and they will put groceries in that. Now, I do it so I can take everything up in one trip.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I am just a fiend about taking things up in a single trip. Like even if I have like a styrofoam cup of something,
Mhm.
I'll figure out a way to hold that and, bags. That's why I like the cloth bags a lot
Oh
because the
yeah.
straps are really long. You can put them over your shoulders. It's great.
Got some of those.
You can also carry like at least 2 plastic bags worth of stuff
Oh sure, yeah,
in one of those.
yeah.
One thing I am looking to get because it annoys me when I go grocery shopping is I hate produce bags.
Oh yeah.
Those are cursed because
Hmm.
the fact that they are impossible to open, especially when I can't breathe on them to loosen that more, they're single use. And it's a kind of single use that does genuinely annoy me because at least with the actual grocery bags that are plastic, I do reuse those.
Yeah.
But like produce bags, they're garbage. And so I'm going to have to get like either the mesh ones or muslin, I heard is good because you can use that for like grain stuff.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but that is very wasteful, and you can't just have loose fruit though. So
Right. Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I uh, I have fruit bags. I don't use the fruit bags. I don't think I get fruit other than things that are already in bags. Like one time I got an 8-pound sack of oranges. Sometimes I just get a couple apples, but you don't really need to put apples in bags. Really just the soft fruits. Vegetables
Yeah.
you put in bags though, like because they're
Oh,
moist,
yeah.
and that's weird if it gets like touches things. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think moisture makes things. I don't know. It's for some reason in my mind, if something's moist and it touches something, then that is grosser than if something is dry and it touches something. Just because the water kind of acts like it like commutes
Oh,
the
yeah.
properties of whatever it touches, which isn't
Yeah.
true, but it just feels like that.
I understand the feeling. It's why I'm comfortable going out in my driveway with socks on, but if I stepped in a puddle, my day's ruined.
Oh God, wet socks. Oh, the worst. The worst. There's nothing worse than wet socks.
No.
I can't think of a single thing.
Nope.
Not one. But
No.
yeah, and they take so long to dry. And then they smell funny
Yes.
after they dry.
Right. And it's socks are weird in that once they're off, they're off. You do not put that day's pair of socks back on.
You can feel it if you do. Even if you didn't wear them for that
Yes.
long, you can feel it.
Yeah.
Another weird thing. Feet aren't that perceptive, I think. Like, they're perceptive to a degree, but, like, sock freshness? Is it psychological?
It might be. It also might be that, like, the sock has been stretched, even just a little bit.
Could be. That
Because
could
when
be
we
it.
first put them on, they've been laundered and maybe they've been twisted inside each other, but they haven't had to be stretched. And once you put them on, your foot shape has influenced the integrity.
That could be true. I think it is true. I'm just trying to think about, like, my experience of putting on socks that I've worn. I think it's partially that. Also, sometimes you can still, like, feel like it's cooler than your foot,
Yeah.
and that shouldn't be. And it's likely still like evaporative cooling that you're feeling, and that's like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have the warmth of my foot anymore. Into the laundry you go.
Yeah. I had another analogy that would take it to a weird place, but we would be at the end of the podcast, so it'd be okay.
Take it there, take it there.
I wonder if it'd be akin to putting on, again, an unused condom. Like you put it on, nothing happens. You take it off. It's not dirty.
That would just be logistically hard. I don't know if it would feel different, but I think that would just be logistically hard because they're stretchy, right? So
Yes.
you wouldn't like deform them. At least I sure hope not.
Good point.
So I don't think it's the same. I think it's logistically difficult, but I think yeah, I don't know. No, I think yeah. I think it's logistically difficult and it would feel a little different, but not as different and not as bad as reusing socks.
Okay, so we figured it out.
Oh, I probably.
I also don't know like what guys do like if they get into the mood with their partner and then the mood passes like would they just keep the condom on in case? Would they take it off and just put on a new one? Does this vary from encounter to encounter?
I imagine it varies. Yeah, I imagine it varies. Yeah. You don't want to waste a perfectly good condom, but at the same time,
Right, yeah. I mean, they cost like 99 cents a box.
exactly. Yeah, you can't waste that. So, but if I mean, at some point, right, it's just gonna fall off. Then what? Well, you don't want to put it back on. It's like a sock. It was real tame for a while there. From Wayfair children. Glad we got back.
Right. Yeah.
Glad we got back.
Yeah. Well, and it makes me think of I was at a restaurant this weekend, and one of our friends had leftover mac and cheese, and we were waiting on a box. But there was like a box of vinyl gloves because as the servers were going around, and I'm like, all right, if they don't bring a box, we're going to get the gloves. We can put the mac and cheese in the glove.
That's actually not a bad mac and cheese vessel. And you can slap
Right?
people with mac and cheese then.
You can. And I feel like it'd be one of those avant-garde ways to serve it of like, we're going to prove to you that cheese comes from cows. And so if you want mac and cheese, you have to milk this glove full of it.
Oh, the imagery.
I know.
Oh no. Yeah, that would be that's very, very I could see some restaurants doing that. Just like, here's your macaroni and cheese in a glove, and here's your broccoli in a fanny pack. We don't have plates. Yeah. This is just how you eat it.
There's a whole subreddit for it. It's pretty great.
Oh, what's it called?
r/we want plates.
Okay, I'll have to look at that because that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of pretzels hanging on hooks, lots of bacon clipped to little clotheslines.
Oh my god. Why would you do that? We want plates. I agree.
We do want plates. Which is exactly what our sponsor is here to provide. I'm pretty sure.
Nope. Right. Not even a little bit. Today's sponsor has nothing to do with plates. Right, yeah. But today's episode of Steaming Pile is brought to you by P&G. No, not Procter & Gamble. Rather, Pierre and Grumeau, of a new French children's cartoon premiering on the French 5 network. Pierre and Grumeau is the tale of a mouse and a rat as they overcome the similarities and differences in their species so they can live together as roommates in relative harmony. Despite being a children's show in prime time, devoted to spreading joy and promoting tolerance and diversity, the show uses violent sexual imagery to convey its message of love and companionship. Personally, I was hooked when the mouse started to and right? It brought a tear to my eye when they were just like doing all that, and then they related it back to race relations and how we're all the same deep down. Rat, mouse, and even occasionally sexually deviant squirrel. We can all get along in the end. So tune in Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. French time to watch Pierre and Grumeau. Trust me, you won't want to turn it off. So thank you, Pierre and Grumeau. I hope it catches on. I got a pre-screening. It was pretty good.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, for everyone upset that Pepe Le Pew's not going to be in the Space Jam remake, check this out.
There you go.
The inappropriate sexual undertones you've been missing, now delivered in explicit overtones.
Yeah. Explicit overtones.
So generous of the French to give us €3.
Yes, much obliged. C'est admissible.
This has been a good steaming pile. I've enjoyed sifting through all of this.
Yep. Always something interesting at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you all for listening. This has been Steaming Pile with Lauren and Tucker. I've been Lauren.
And I have been Tucker.
We will see you all next time.